Hey guys, Enis, Whiteacre Properties. Welcome back to another episode. Guys, I'm bringing you to Brookline today. We purchased this property right here. This is our latest acquisition. It's 44 Winslow Road in Brookline. And I'm super excited because it's a unique property. It's a rooming house and we have zero experience with rooming houses. So I want to share with you guys how we found the property, how we financed it, what is the plan now at this point that we own the building, what's the exit strategy about this property, and pretty much go over everything that we're gonna do on the inside. So follow me inside, let's talk about all of that. So guys, how we found the property. This one was a lead that came to us from our handyman on the property we own in Brighton. He helps us there and he said, hey, there is this friend of mine, he's a roommate at a property in Brookline and the lady is looking to sell. So it was an off-market property. If you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I only buy off-market. And the reason I do that is because there's less competition. It's usually a way for me to buy discounted properties. So the lead came in and we could have ignored that or forget about it. But instead we got proactive. We found the number online. Bruno in my office, kudos to him. He reached out to the seller and he said, hey, we buy houses. Are you looking to sell? Obviously, we knew that the lady was looking to sell. We had the inside information, but it was a cold call. And she said, I am, but I don't know who you are. I don't trust you. So we had to overcome that objection, which is fine. You just got to get used to it. And if you guys are looking to buy real estate at a discount, you got to do cold calling. You got to do door knocking. You got to do the direct mail. So these are the activities that can help you generate off-market leads like this one. So it's uncomfortable there, so I'm going to move around. But guys, keep that in mind. Off-market is the way to go, especially on a changing market like the one we are facing right now in Boston. So we came, met with the seller face-to-face. The face-to-face appointment is huge. It's very important because that's the only way someone is going to trust us. Found out that she was going to list with an agent for $2 million and we gave an offer for $1,850,000. She was happy with that because one, we would buy it as is. Two, she wouldn't have to pay commissions with us because we are not agents, we are the end buyers. So she loved the idea, but we also got a decent price. We ran comparable sales, we spoke to some agents in the area, and we realized that this property, once it's fixed up, it's probably going to be worth somewhere between $2.5 and $2.7 million. It's a huge single family. It was run as a rooming house. We're keeping it that way. But I wanted to share with you guys how we found it because even now, 7 years in the business, we are still doing direct mail, we're still cold calling, and finally now we have a brand out there that people know what we do, they know that we are legitimate and we are professional, so they are coming to us with leads, and that's the best way and the best position to be in. So this one was a lead from someone we know, and if you guys have a lead or if you guys want to partner up, reach out to me, but that's how we found this property. So I want to leave you guys with some takeaways about buying this property and how we found it, and that is, tell everybody that you buy houses. Tell everyone that you're a real estate investor because that's the only way leads are going to come to you, right? Other than buying on the MLS through an agent, obviously everyone knows that. But if you guys are looking for discounted properties, if you don't want to compete with others, just spread the word. Tell everybody what you do. When I started out, there's one thing I didn't do and I learned from my mistake, but I was shy about it. I didn't share with people what I was doing. And now it's different. Now we buy houses, it's all over my truck. Everybody knows about it. It's on our, the sign is huge on our office building, right? So everyone knows that we buy houses and they're bringing us leads. The other takeaway is take action, right? Call people, do direct mail, door knocking. Leads like this, deals like this are not gonna fall into your lap. It just doesn't happen. We are in a prime real estate location here in Brookline, right next to BU. And these properties don't really change hands that often. So in order to find them, like I said, cold call, door knock, do all that you gotta do and be proactive about it. And once you do that, you guys will see traction, you'll see leads come your way, and that's how you really make it in real estate investing. So how did we finance this one? We actually took a loan with a hard money lender. We paid 8% annual interest on the money we borrowed. And 1 point. If you guys don't know what points are, that's 1% of the money you borrow. So that was our cost of capital. However, what they do is that they provide us with 90% of the purchase price. They fund 90%, and all we got to bring to the table is 10%. So on an acquisition like this one, our cut to bring into the deal was $185,000, which is a lot more manageable than, you know, let's say 20% or 25%. So that's why we went with a hard money lender. We love the idea that they provide 90% of the acquisition and 100% of the construction. So they're going to give us a lot of money for the construction part, and all we had to bring in is the 10%, the closing cost, and maybe some upfront money for our contractors as we start the project. All right, guys, I hope you're ready because we're going to go right inside. And this is a huge house. Like I said, this is 6,500 square feet. So, all right, let's go take a look. So guys, we're on the inside of the building, and the plan here is to actually keep it as a rooming house. We have zero experience with rooming houses, right? We don't know how to operate one. We have never owned one, but we are curious and we are willing to try. I think that has helped us quite a bit with different leads that come to us. And this one is such a good location that owning it makes a ton of sense. And I'll go over the thought process and why we decided to keep it. But it's a rooming house, 13 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. It got a couple kitchenette on the second and third floor. So it's a massive house. But we're gonna take rooms like this one here that used to be a living room and convert it into a bedroom, because living rooms don't make us money. If we have a living room here to share with everybody, we can charge monthly for it. That's the game plan. We're gonna convert as many of these rooms into bedrooms because everyone in this area is charging by the bedroom. So 13 bedrooms times $1,500 per bedroom, let's say, that's close to $20,000, right? And that's monthly income for us. That's how we're looking at it. We are not gutting the place. We are refinishing floors. We're sanding and staining the hardwood floors. We are painting the walls. We are actually updating windows because they're very old. And then we're updating light fixtures. Fireplaces will stay. We're gonna have to paint all of that. We are keeping all this nice woodwork because it's just beautiful. It's really great quality and finishes that we have here. So we're just gonna sand and stain and maintain all of it. Rooms like this one here need a little bit more work. We're gonna demo this closet here that was recently put in to expand the room. This room particularly is gonna have its own bathroom. So kitchen and baths are most likely gonna be a full gut, but the rest of the bedrooms are just gonna be cosmetics. You know, the paint, like I said, hardwood floors, refinish and sand, and just maybe change doorknobs and light fixtures. So not a ton of work. Honestly, if we start doing a ton of work on a property like this, you can spend a lot of money because it's so big. Guys, let's go upstairs really quick to take a look up there, second and third floor, but it's pretty much the same. So I shared with you guys how we purchased the property, how we financed it. Now at this point, let's talk about the exit strategy. So what I mean by exit strategy is exactly what we decide to do with the building. And for us at Whiteacre, it starts with the signing of the PNS, the signing of the purchase and sale agreement. But once we sign a contract, we actually make the decision. Are we gonna wholesale this property? Are we gonna actually wholesale it, like close on it, clean it up, put it on the market? Or are we gonna keep it as a buy and hold rental? Or are we fix and flipping it, right? So we got 3 or 4 options here. On a property like this, because we bought it at a discount. If we bought it at market value, you are very limited to the exit strategies, but once you buy it at a discount, you got multiple exit strategies. So guys, I mentioned the 4 exit strategies, but out of those 4, we decided to actually do buy and hold for this property. Buy and hold means that we are buying, renovating, and then instead of selling it, we are gonna rent this property long term. This is a rooming house. We are gonna keep operating it as a rooming house. We actually got the license as a rooming house in our name now. So we're gonna actually continue to operate it the same way that the prior landlord did, right? And the main reason is location. So this is a prime location right next to BU. It's an amazing Brookline area neighborhood. So you can't build in this area any longer. And properties like this really don't change hands that often. So once we get a lead like this, we always would like to keep it because 1, it's hard to find. 2, we're gonna spend money and time renovating it. So we don't wanna let go after that, right? We wanna keep it, like I said, 1 for location. 2 is the fact that the values in this area are going up. They have been going up for a long time. It's no secret that Brookline is one of the best neighborhoods. And because you can't really build anywhere here, values will go up. And we want to be able to take advantage of that appreciation through the years, right? I would love to keep this property 10, 15, 20 years. Number 3 actually is about tax advantages. So buying a rental property like this, it's allowed to us by the IRS that we can deduct expenses, right? And one of the expenses that we deduct is the depreciation. So if you guys don't know what that is, Google it for now. We're not going to talk about it, but as a rental investor, taking depreciation as a loss on the books, it helps us tremendously because it offsets the profit from the fix and flip side. Anytime we're fix and flipping houses, we get taxed a really high amount because it's considered ordinary income. On the rental side, because of depreciation and cost segregation, you are allowed to take a paper loss on the books, which is a huge advantage. The fourth and final thing I want to mention to you guys today is the cash flow. I got involved in real estate primarily because I love the idea of cash flow. I love the idea of owning real estate and having the tenants pay your mortgage, pay your taxes, pay everything, and at the end of the month, you are left with extra money. I like the idea because I wanted to retire based on that income, right? I said, hey, I got a family now. If I wanted to stop working, go somewhere else to live, I could probably live on rental income. And that's why we keep buying rentals long term. I love the idea of cash flow. I love for the tenants to pay down our mortgage. That way we build wealth, and it's a long-term strategy, right? This is not a get-rich-quick overnight scheme, but as a long-term investment, it makes a lot of sense. So guys, the last thing I wanted to talk to you about today is what is the plan now that we own this property? Well, first order of business for us was to clean up everything that was left behind. That's why you see 2 dumpsters here on the driveway, but we got to take everything out and make sure it's clean in there, right? So that's one. In the meantime, I filed for a building permit. I am a general contractor, so I'm able to pull my own permits, but I filed with the town of Brookline so then I can do work inside, because we're going to update kitchen and bathrooms, and obviously we're going to finish floors and walls and change windows, so you need a permit for that. And we are doing things by the book. We want to do it right, so that's the next order of business. At that point, once the renovations are done, and even before getting that far, we need to find out, are we doing short-term rentals here? Are we going to do long-term rentals? That's a big decision, because with short-term rentals, we need to furnish the building, right? So we got 13 bedrooms and kitchen and baths that we need to furnish. Long-term, maybe not, right? Tenants will probably bring their own furniture in there. And there's pros and cons to both. We don't have a ton of experience with short-term rental, but in this area, because it's heavily populated by students, there is a lot of demand for short-term. And it looks like the numbers might make more sense on short-term because we're going to generate more income on a monthly basis. So I got to make a decision on that. Either way, I think we're going to have some decent cash flow in this building, and I'm excited about that. So if we decide to keep this actually as long-term monthly leases, I think we're probably going to have to manage it in-house. We have a property manager in-house that's going to help with that. And I know there are service companies out there that maybe will help us on the short-term rental and the management of that. But managing a property like this one, it's not hands-off, right? It's not passive income by any means. You still have to be involved in the management of the property. So we got options, but I wanted to share that with you guys. And the final thing we're going to do is refinance. I mentioned this to you guys, but when we purchased the property, we used a hard money lender, and they are at 8%, 9% annual interest, right? Obviously, even with interest rates going up, with a local bank, I probably can find something in the 6.5% annual interest. So most likely, once this is updated and fully leased, then we're going to go to a bank and refinance with a local lender. And at that point, we can just manage it long term, get the cash flow, keep maintaining the property, and build wealth by owning this building. So guys, I know I shared a ton of information. It's a big building, and obviously because it's a rooming house, this is new to me, but we're trying to make it work, and I think it's going to be an amazing building. I just wanted to share with you guys the thought process, how we go about it, how we find these deals. I hope it's helpful, but guys, if you have questions, and I know you're going to have questions, there are 2 ways to reach out to me. One is through the comments below. Put your questions down there. I look at those all the time and I respond myself. And then the other way is to join me at the meetups. I'm going to put the link below. We have a meetup event every month. So if you are local to the Boston area, come join me, say hi, bring your questions, and we'll chat, right? I'm happy to share my experience, but also I would love to learn what you are up to. So guys, take advantage of that. Do those 2 things. I gotta head back to the office because other than doing video, I gotta work. Catch you on the next one. Thank you.